What's up, all? So it's an introduction to my audio slave here. Hopefully YouTube won't cut out my volume here. Down and cut me off. I was a king, I was a moth with felted wings made of cloth. Anyways, I'm not here to sing to you. I'm here to rap some psychospiritual shit off for you. Okay, so I introduced you guys to the notion of the Coincidenta Oppositorum in one of my videos. I want to revisit that because I think it's really an important concept. So the Coincidenta de Oppositorum. Let me take a hit of this first here. And fire Passerian. Alright, so what it is when the interior world meets the exterior world. And when the interior processes meet the exterior processes in such a way that the exterior is a reflection of the interior, and the interior process is a reflection of the exterior process. And I only have one of these. I think it is classically Jungian. I apologize about me being off center here, but I'm trying to charge my phone at the same time here. So it's classically Jungian, and so the example that I will use for you here again is the same one I used in my last video, which is you're starting to develop clairvoyance. When you begin to develop clairvoyance, you'll see like a bright light. It'll be out of nowhere and it will be seemingly without purpose, and it'll have a color to it. But it's not particularly bright, it's just a little shiny thing. It pops up, boop. Much the same way as like a little guy on your eye, like a little dust mote on your eye, travels across your eye and gets sparkly, reflects sunlight and sparkles, and you're like, whoa, what's that? And then you recognize it as being a dust mote, right? So it's like a dust mote, but it's usually of a particular color. And so what happens there is that on the inside, the interior process, let's give it a color. Let's say it's orange. Okay. So what's happening on the inside is that you're in relationship to an internal object that for whatever reason for you symbolizes high sexuality, right? Okay, so that's happening, right? That's the internal process. And then the external process, right, is that either a disembodied soul, right? So somebody who's either dead or somebody who's wandering the earth. There are a lot of people who wander out there. And keep in mind, the celestial soul is huge. So each of you have a celestial soul, which is huge, and can subdivide as many times as it desires. So the ego, or the conscious mind, is not always aware of what the subdivided soul is doing on the astral realm or the astral plane. So often you'll send a parcel of your soul to wander the astral. All right, and then you'll have a certain degree of consciousness over where that's been, what it's done, what it's learned when it returns to you. But unless you're really transpersonal out there, like really focused on the spirit and souls and the astral and lots of other things, can you bring full presence to that experience? Okay. And I don't know that anybody who can bring the full presence to all of their experience. Like, so let's say the celestial soul up in the atmosphere, right, is divided into 1,000 parts. Bam! It's everywhere, doing things, helping people, doing things, right? What fucking ego can capture the 1,000 streams of consciousness and the learning that is taking place at once? None. So don't judge yourself for being unconscious either. Okay, back to the Coincidenta Oppositorum. So externally, you got a soul, a wanderer, or the dead, and they're checking you out, right? You're turning them on, they're getting a little hot there. You got the orange energy going, right? So they're showing you an orange spark. And you're looking at an orange spark because you have the internal process of relating to an internalized object going on. And that's the coincidence at Oppositorum, is when your process matches the external process. When the internal process mirrors the external process. And the external process mirrors the internal process. These things are going on all the time, but we're rarely aware consciously of the nature of the coincidental Oppositorum. But you can bring awareness to it, and that's my recommendation. All right, guys. That's all I wanted to say. Peace be with you. Bye for now.